Hello and welcome to another Cigar Box guitar lesson from Code of Tuition. So back on 3 strings here, and what a great tune. This is of course Black Dog by Led Zepp. It's from their 4th studio album from 1971 and absolute classic riff. Works surprisingly well on 3 strings. It was actually composed by the bass player, so we're going one better and we're down to 3 as opposed to 4 strings, that is. And we're in standard G-D-G tuning here. The original was actually in the key of A, so if you did get it down and you wanted to play along with the original tune, you could grab a capo, stick it on fret 2. Everything we're going to have a look at in this video, shift it up 2 frets and you will be in the same key as the original and you can jam along with the band themselves. And quite a difficult guitar solo, so we're not looking at that, but we are going to have a look at all of the other parts. So there's a main riff, a couple of sort of chorus bridge parts and extended riff and all the rest of it. So I reckon let's get straight on with having a go at the tune. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are in standard G-D-G. There's low G, there's middle D, there's high G. And as I also mentioned, every single thing you learn, if you want to play along with the original, stick capo on fret 2, everything moves up 2 frets and you can play along with the band themselves. So we're in the key of G. And so if I step up to fret 5 on the middle string from the open D, oh, by the way, this is definitely a flat pick song, so make sure you're okay with flat pick playing. You can check out Sunshine of Your Love for a bit of detailed info on that if you need it. So if I step up from open D and go through frets 3, 4, 5, by the time I arrive at fret 5, that is a G, so I'm stepping up to what we call the root note because we're in the key of G. And then, so 4 notes there just on the middle string, bit of alternate picking there, and we can go to fret 3 on the high string, and then we can go back again to that fret 5. Sorry, go back to the open D first, then go to the fret 3 on the high string, and then back to the middle string, fret 5. Going up 2, little step up, fret 5 to 7, play those 2 notes. This is on the top string, so you see I'm using fingers 1, 2, 3 here, and then 1 and 3 when I move up to 5 and 7, and then step back to 3 and 5 and do a trill. So a trill is where you pick and tap on nice and positively. You don't need to put loads of like weight behind it, it's just a quick movement, so you retain the sound of the note and then you flick off, so it's like you're plucking with your fretting hand. So that's finger 1 to finger 3, and that's a really good way of creating faster notes. 5, 7, trill 3 to 5, and then back to middle string fret 5, so what we need to do is we need to learn this in sections because it is quite tricky. So first section, open 3, 4, 5, open, fret 3 on the top string, fret 5 on the middle string. That's the first bit. So obviously for copyright reasons I'm not doing a tab for this, so get that down, learn that. Middle section, step up to fret 5 and 7, play those very 2 notes, step down, see I'm using fingers 1 and 3 a lot, trill, and then back to the middle string, play that twice, and then that's fret 5, and then fret 3 on the high string, back to the middle string again. So there's the second section of the riff. 5, 7, step down trill, play middle fret 5 twice, high, and back again. And then the final section on the middle string, 3, 5, 5, step up. So we're on the bass string now, and we're going to frets 5 and 7, and using fingers 1 and 3 again, and you kind of slide down so that your third finger's landing on fret 3, 5, and then so that final bit is middle string 3, 5, 5, 5, 7, slide 3, 5, open, G power chord. So that looks a bit like this. So we've got open first part, open, 3, 4, 5 on the middle string, open, fret 3 on the top string, back to fret 5 on the middle string. There's the first part. Second part, shift up 5 and 7 on the top string, shift down 3 to 5 trill, and then finish it off with fret 5 on the middle string twice, fret 3 once on the top string. So there's the middle part. See, I'm doing tiny little bluesy bends on that third one. It's almost irresistible, but you can see what you can leave it out to start with. And then the final part is 3, 5, 5 on the middle string, and then step across and 5, 7 on the bass, still using 1 and 3, fingers 1 and 3, shift up, slide down to 3 and 5, frets 3 and 5 with fingers 1 and 3. So the final part, shift up, slide down. Now, the timing's quite weird on this, so I'm not really going to talk too much about that, apart from just think about which are the long and which are the short notes, okay, and that should help to keep it regular. And then I'd recommend trying to play along with the original game, capo up. That will help you sort the timing, but it's basically short, 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 long, short, long, long. So we've largely just got what we call 16th notes, which I'm calling short, and 8th notes or half beat notes, which I'm calling long. Short, 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 long, short, long, long. Short, short, even shorter there. The trill creates really short notes. Short, 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 long, long. So the middle part, all short notes at the beginning, apart from that one and that one are longer. Back to short notes. So all of the end section is all short notes. So we've got short, long, short, long, 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 long. So that's the main riff, and that's basically a call and response type thing with the vocals, like the whole band does a response to the vocal phrases. But you do that, I think, twice on its own, and then the third time it's going to continue into an extended part of the riff. So it's almost like the riff's changed key here, and I'm going to start on fret 2 of the bass string, and I'm going to do a tiny little side step because it's a bit of a jump, and I'm going to use 3rd and pinky on frets 5 and 6, and then instead of going all the way up to fret 7, I'm going to use open D, open middle string, so I'm not shifting around too much. So it's 2, 5, 6, open D, back to the bass string, 2, and then I'm going to go for fret 3, and I can do a tiny little bluesy bend if I want again. Now, you basically repeat that 4 times, but the timing's quite weird. It feels like it's displacing, because on the original the drums actually keep a steady standard 4 beats and a bar rock beat, and the bass and the guitar that are playing together, they kind of snake across the beat a little bit. So again, we don't want to talk about the exact spacing. We just want to listen and try and copy. So you basically play the first one, and it's very similar rhythm, so it's short, long, long, and then short, long, long. But if we're going from the main riff, so it feels like it's jumping in the wrong place when it repeats, which is what it does. It effectively displaces across the regular 4/4 beat from the drums. So we go around that riff 4 times, but on the 4th time we don't finish it off in the same way. 2, 5, 6. So instead of dropping back to fret 2 like that, we start at fret 2, 5, 6, open, go back to fret 5 instead, and then what we're doing here is we're snaking through to restart the main riff. So here's the 4th time round, the low version of the riff. 2, 5, 6, open, back to 5, and then open D, 3, 4, 5, open. And at this point we've just rejoined the original riff, and we play it in exactly the same way. Excuse me, I just hit the wrong note there. In exactly the same way as we did the first time. So that full bridge part is fret 2, 5, 6, open D, back to 2, fret 3 on the middle string, open D, open middle string. Do that again. Do it again for the 3rd time. 4th time, open D but back to fret 5, and then open D, step up, because that's exactly the same as the main riff. So you probably want to hear how we go from that main riff into the new low riff and back to the main riff again. So it's like this. There's the chord, low. Coming in kind of at a time. Here's the 4th one. 5, open, back to where we started. And then chorus. And so if we can call it the chorus, this is the bit he's kind of singing ooh yeah, and the guitar is doing something like that. So bending at fret 2 is a bit tight, to be honest, particularly if you've got chunky strings on like I have. So I'm going to use my second finger. I'm going to support on the same string with my first, and I want my thumb over the top to give me a bit of leverage. It's a full 2 fret bend on the original. Let's not bother with that. Let's just try and get the sound of a bit of a bend. You know, that's nowhere, it's not even really 1 fret hardly. You know, it's very quick up and down, bend and release, which doesn't mean release the note, it means release the bend. So it's very quick up and down, so you just hear the bend, doesn't matter how far up you get. But you want to try, it's a bit of a tricky move this, you want to try and bend, release and pull off. That is such a common rock blues little lead guitar lick that once you get it, you can actually go quite quickly. And so because I'm using my second finger here, I'm going to reach across with my third finger onto fret 3, and there's me chord open G. So bend back to fret 2, don't bend it this time, open G. So you go down to the bass there. You can give that a tiny little bluesy tweak as well. You do that twice, and then I'm going to keep this low G open, and I'm going to go for fret 3 on the other 2 strings. So I'm going to play bass, little chord, bass, open. So we've got from the bend, release, pull off, fret 2, open, do it again, then bass, little 2 string chord. So that would look something like this, bend, release, pull off, fret 2, open, bass, play the open strings, do it again, then bass, chord, bass, open. You do that again, but this time we can, so instead of after the bend, release, pull off, which is on the same string, same fret, so you pulled off to the open string, instead of going back to fret 2 on that string, let's go to fret 2 on the middle string, open, and then bass. So, and then you do 3 times. It's slightly irregular, but you don't notice it on the original. It works really well. So that's the first time of the second half of this chorus, and then you just go back to staying on string 1, so back to fret 2 and open on string 1, and the final time do that again, bend, release, pull off, and then stay on string 1, and then bass, and then back to that chord, so all of that just twice. The first time chord, 3 times this time. The first one, go to the middle string, and then back to the top string, stay on the top string, okay. You could do a tiny little pickup into that, which comes straight out of the main riff. Here's the end of the main riff. Open, open, bass, open. So that's the pickup. Basically, I'd use an upstroke on the open strings, downstroke on the bass, and then bluesy bend all day, sounds ace. Open, down on the fret 3, open, and then you go into just exactly all of that. Up, down, up. The timing for the chorus, so it's quite quick, this bend, release, pull off bit. Up to there, short afterwards. That's long there, that open. So that's a fairly short sequence, but then it's a long open. And then short, long, short, long. There's one more bit, you could call it another chorus or a bridge or something. Which goes like that. So again, we're adapting slightly. I think it might sound slightly more bassy on the original, but we're using the open strings here. So I'm going to use an up, and then I'm going to go down on just fret 3 of the middle string, and then up, and then down, just so I get a bit of separation between the open strings. So it's up, down, up, bass. Do that again. Up, down, up. This time let's go back down with 2 fingers on fret 3 of the top 2 strings. Down on that, up. So up, down, up, bass. Up, down, 2 fretted notes. Up, down, up, bass. Kind of single notes stand out. If you dig in a bit, put a bit of vibrato on, a bit of a wobble, you can, even a single note can almost sound louder than other parts if you're playing through a nice amp, that is, a bit of distortion. So that's just on the middle string, fret 3, fret 2, and that's the riff. So it's you do that twice, and that's it basically. And again, the timing's quite weird on this. You'll have to listen quite closely to see how the guitar comes in against what the drums are doing. But just in the guitar riff itself, it's short, long, 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 short, 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 long, long, short, long, 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 long. So really just trying to figure out where the short notes are. So there's one at the beginning, bur dom, so you're coming immediately in with fret 3, bur dom, and then long, short, 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 long, long, short. And once you've done that twice, you just finish back on open G. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I hope this tune's fun to play. I think it works really well. I like playing it on Cigar guitar, and we're going to be probably sticking with 3 strings for the next lesson, and maybe doing a bit of blues. So watch this space. We'll be back here very soon with quite possibly a bit of John Lee Hooker here on Coda Guitar.